What's up, everybody? It is LSU Odyssey live with some Monday night live Infonugs. How's everybody doing tonight? If you all have any questions about anything LSU related or not, feel free to post those in the comment section, and we'll be forced to answer whatever you post in there. However vile, however obscene, however wild it could be, we'll have to answer it. We also have our sleeping newborn here in the room while Chelsea's with Sage shopping. So we do have a newborn here sleeping. So we'll see how much we can get through this. Monday night live here on LSUODYSSEY.com, and you saw it over the weekend. Lane Kiffin said, we're going to this is going to be a big weekend, and then he said this is going to be a very big Sunday, very big Sunday morning. And wow, kaboom. Ahmad Hudson joins the LSU freaking Tigers, a five-star dynamo in the same mold as a Trades Green. 6'6" to 6'7". Oh shit. One second. Yeah, I doubt she's gonna sleep now. Wow. But we'll probably have to pull her over here and she'll have to do the show with us as a special guest star. We'll see if she'll just chill in her chair for a second. But LSU getting Ahmad Hudson. Huge, colossal pickup. News that was broken by the On3 team of Hayes Fawcett, Shea Dixon, all those guys over there doing fantastic work as always. And in that article that we wrote covering Ahmad Hudson's arrival, we asked, Ahmad Hudson commits to LSU, why his commitment, not just, I shouldn't say asked, we proposed that his commitment isn't just a major win, it's a potential sign of a new Louisiana talent pipeline. Okay. In that article, we're kind of feeling the vibes of you go from a five-star superstar, number one tight end in the country like Trades Green. You do the same thing a few classes later in Ahmad Hudson. Both two-sport superstars. They could have been fantastic basketball players, both of them. I should say Ahmad Hudson still could be. Averaged 21 points and 14 boards. A top 25 overall national basketball prospect and the number one out of the state of Louisiana. Saying Ahmad Hudson, is a freakish athlete with unmatchable, unstoppable wingspan. I mean, he looks like, maybe Predator 3 has just come out and we didn't know about it. And he's on the field and he's dominating DBs, linebackers, safeties, whoever you have come his way. LSU went head-to-head against Nebraska to clinch his commitment. And you've seen a lot of shit talk from Nebraska people saying You know, he only went to LSU for money. He only went to LSU for money. And it's like, yeah, he was going to go to Nebraska when the alternative was Brian freaking Kelly and the hideous Joe Sloan offense that he was watching. He's seeing Trades Green completely wasted left, right, and center. Who the hell would want to join that? Even a Louisiana native, I get it. But the second LSU makes that switch, the second he visits, he shuts it all down, says, no, 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 I'm going to be announcing at the end of spring. I'm going to make it, a quick announcement, as he told Shea Dixon of On 3 during an interview. And then what does he do? Announces a major commitment to LSU. And this is the 8th five-star signed by Lane Kiffin, whether in the portal or on the recruiting trail. I mean, just ridiculous right now from Lane Kiffin. This is, this is special, guys. What we're seeing, the amount of talent that is coming into the boot, coming into the LSU ops right now to play for LSU. We are stacked because we offer more than just a superficial renegade mercenary mentality. LSU is that it's basically a franchise. More than, as much as it is a university, it's basically a franchise. A pre-NFL franchise that when you go into the NFL, the men in the NFL who are going to coach you are going to say, "Oh, you were at LSU." And it doesn't just mean that you were at LSU. It means, who did you play against at LSU? Who were you forced to cover at LSU? Who were you forced to try and to beat off the line, to beat in a route? Who was those defensive tackles, those defensive ends that you were facing in the trenches every snap as a quarterback? Oh man, the DBU you had to face and the front seven you had to face that would eat you alive in practices. Um, you know, those type of things are very attractive to NFL GMs, scouts, coaches, everybody, because LSU is a cradle of college football. I see too many times LSU being dismissed as, we're just not there. We're not the same as other schools like Georgia or Alabama. And it's like, yeah, maybe we're not as consistent in this era, but that can change at any second. And when you keep stacking talent like this, Ahmad Hudson out of Ruston High joining, Trades Green as another just dynamo, just complete action-packed tight end prospect, just a mismatch kingdom unto himself. Ahmad Hudson, you really are starting to pull off a spree here, and LSU are really racking in the talent right now. Whether it's in the portal, on the recruiting trail, wherever Lane Kiffin is going and what he's trying to accomplish, pretty much everything except for getting Brendan Sorsby, which was the one miss you absolutely wanted. Lane Kiffin has hit gold here. You're talking about the number one quarterback in the country from the portal with Sam Levitt. You're talking the number one edge rusher in the country with Prince William O'Malley. You're talking about the number one offensive lineman in the country, number one offensive tackle in the country in Jordan Seaton. A top 3 safety who really should be the number 1 safety prospect in Ty Benefield. You bring in the number 1 leading SEC tackler, the number 1 active leading tackler in the SEC in TJ Daugherty. Oh, she's waking up. Oh, it's just some little coughs. So, LSU is really stacking the talent here, and it's beautiful to see. I mean, you look at the 2027 class here, and it's Ahmad Hudson, Jaden Bryant, such a hugely pursued and contested edge rushing talent there out of Irmo, South Carolina. I think it's the same hometown as Ben Bridwell from Band of Horses. He wrote a song called Irmo Bats, IRMO, Irmo, and I remember him saying it was about his hometown in Irmo, South Carolina. So Irmo high school he played for by Columbia, South Carolina there. Peyton Houston is your quarterback who, man, what an awesome tweet he posted today where he was like, "Hey, every recruit who left early when it was LSU versus A&M, we remember who left. We're about to start something special here." Like you what a class quarterback to start everything around and behind. Whether Matt Moscona doesn't likes him or not or whatever, like it doesn't matter. He's the quarterback that fits Lane Kiffin's scheme. Still on the smaller side, but 5'10" and a half, 200 pounds. I think he's going to be big enough to make it happen. And dual threat out of Shreveport, Louisiana. I mean, this number 9 in his position, number 6 in the state, 125th overall national talent. Peyton Houston is underrated, if anything. Everybody's a 4-star or 5-star that LSU signed from this class, and you know, three of the five commits are from Louisiana. And I do like Amari Stevens as well, that receiver out of Chaminade Madonna. So many crazy names for high schools in the state of Florida. Chaminade Madonna. There's the one that DJ Pickett played for was ridiculous too. Gulliver Prep. There's just some very strange names for some of these high schools. But check out our Ahmad Hudson profile there on the site. And then we also wrote this profile on Kevin Smith's 2026 LSU running backs room. Now this room is this is a thick, deep, just vast room of varyingly top profiles here. You have something for everybody in this running back room. One sec. We are here with Ari. Ari. So, say hi, girl. Sweet little girl. Just woke from her nap. Kind of perfect timing when she woke up from her nap, actually. But Kevin Smith's 2026 running backs room, guys. We wrote a lot about this room. We wrote a ton about this room. We really went in deep here. And it's stunning. Caden Durham is probably one of the most weirdly under the radar backs for LSU going into this season. And yet he not only leads the entire room in production, his freshman season of like 753 rushing yards is like pretty much in line with the entire room's production combined in their careers. A lot of players in this room that have very minimal experience. Very minimal experience. We're talking only a few games here and there. 63 yards, 13 carries for a guy like Stacey Gage. 388 yards and I think 13 games for Dylan Jones. Even he was barely featured himself at Wisconsin. Just not really much of anything to speak of outside of like 294 yards for was it Rashawn Guillory, or was it we want to make sure we get this right, for Rod Gainey Jr. at Charlotte, low division as well, but outside of Barry, 491 yards, 101 carries. Ari, you really don't have much production from this Kevin Smith 2026 LSU running back room, and there's going to be a lot of unknown qualities about this room, about this 2026 LSU running backs room. Who's going to start? Who's going to be that guy to kind of take over the number one role? Who's going to be that guy to really assert himself? Who's going to be the number two guy and be okay with it as a kind of a contributor? Is there going to be a really quick fire rotation, or are they going to be willing to ride the hot hand? And usually you've seen a combination of the two in certain years, but when Kiffin has a number one stud, he just feeds that dude like crazy. You saw it with Kilwan Lacey, you saw it before Quinshon Judkins, and even as far back as Reggie freaking Bush at USC. And by the way, that season with him and Lendale White, USC rushed for 260 yards per game, which went for 6th in the country. We really go into it about just how incredible Lane Kiffin's rushing pedigree is. 1 second, let me turn off this lullaby music in case it's on in the background. And plays your staffy. And play the staff. So yeah, we wrote on here on the article here on LSUODYSSEY.com. Let me get this to be zoomed in as well so we can. How deep is your love? How zoomed is your love? Okay. Here we go. So we wrote, Lane Kiffin's offenses historically deliver a potent, swarming, all-encompassing rushing attack that batters, burns, gashes, and distorts an opponent's senses. Featuring Kevin Smith as his running backs coach for most of his tenures, never ranking lower than number 73. That's their rushing attack, whether Kiffin was at FAU, USC, Ole Miss, Alabama, never ranked lower than number 73 in the nation. Oh, Tennessee as well in there as well. Never ranked lower than 73, while placing inside the top 15 rushing offenses in 6 seasons, averaging over 200 yards in 9 different campaigns at 4 different schools, and eclipsing 200 yards per season across 6 of his last 10 years coaching. That I mean, when you look at what LSU really needed from a coaching hire standpoint, it wasn't just about making sure you got an offensive guy and making sure you got an in-demand guy. It was about making sure that you got a dude who could really have the tools, have the personnel, have the staff members like a Kevin Smith to retool and reorganize, revitalize this rushing attack for LSU that's been far too dormant for far too long. Guys, LSU have had one running back rush for 1,000 yards since Clyde Edwards-Helaire did it in 2019. Just one running back. I know we mentioned that 2 shows ago, and we asked that question, kind of a quiz question in a short. Shh, it's okay, Fuss. We'll have to get another toy for her. We'll have to get creative here. Here, girl, look at this spinner. I mean, you needed a dude who was extremely consistent running the football wherever he's gone. And that finding that, especially a guy who can do that without really needing a top tier elite offensive line powerhouse at every single offensive line position. And actually, if you look back at some of Lane Kiffin's offensive line, it's not like he's, Brian Kelly's had far more offensive linemen drafted than Kiffin has. But you know what? Maybe Kelly has recruited or signed better individual offensive line talents at places like Notre Dame, Cincinnati, and then LSU. But what Kiffin is able to do for a collective offensive line with his up-tempo, hurry-up, in-your-face, pedal to the metal, hell-bent for leather offensive attack, you're wearing and you're tearing and just bleeding those opposition defenders dry. And that's going to help an offensive line. And that's going to help a running back find these extra holes, these extra yards of space, daylight where he can just burn it and he's gone. And the up-tempo attack and also the usage of a dual threat quarterback that just keeps a defense off balance, having to defend every single damn blade of grass, going left to right to back to front, and then getting burned over the top, burned over the middle in the passing game too. Having to deal with, contend with the physicality of a Trey'Dez Green, get him into the ground. I mean, this really should work in a phenomenal way here when everything is set up, but we have to see it first. LSU have had so many setups where it was, we got Frank Wilson, we got this guy, we got this running back, we got this. Caleb Jackson just had an awesome freshman year, but everything went to shit. Even Caden Durham, who was a Maxwell Award watch list guy, an all SEC freshman, the closest running back to get to 1,000 yards without, coming anywhere near in the post 2019 era, outside of Ty Davis Price. Just 753 yards. He did have 1,000 total yards in his freshman year. He did have 1,000 total, but only 753 rushing. But still, it is this could be a finesse to power to bullying to wearing you down rushing attack combined with Sam Levitt. I mean, it could be absolutely fantastic, but here's the thing. You don't know fully who you have and who you can trust on this rushing attack, except for a few guys. And one of those guys to me, and I don't know how people will feel about this because he doesn't quite have this like, oh my God, unstoppable pedigree, from his prior stats at his prior stop. He is a new transfer. And so there's always those questions of, oh, well, he's going to need a few seasons to acclimate or figure it out. And, he is in year 3, so maybe he won't need that, and maybe he is already prepared for that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing here, okay? Dylan Jones, I think he could start over either Caden Durham or Harlem Berry, and both. Harlem Berry has looked better than Caden Durham for the duration of spring, but Caden Durham had better individual practices than Berry at the back half of spring, and really kind of busted out and broke out finally after kind of holding serve and being way too subtle, picking up very minimal yardage, way too safe. It just conservative almost with his running, and you bring in Dylan Jones, the thunder and lightning combination, the way he hits a hole with violence, turbulence, um, absolute velocity. He has this work ethic as well, and what he's done physically to upgrade his body from what he was, where he was during his time in Wisconsin is absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And here's the thing. I know I say maybe unbelievable a bit too much. I'm going to work on that because sometimes, come on, like not everything is unbelievable. But I am constantly stunned, and I've been around the game for almost a decade. I'm constantly stunned by how much better these physical conditioning staffs get, and how well they have these dudes chiseled and beefed up and just ready for absolute SEC battle. And the way they can pull some of this stuff off, the weight gains and some of the way they get these guys shredded, the sheer amount of weights they're lifting, it blows my mind. I gotta be honest. I don't ever take it for granted seeing these guys up close. As long as I've been around the game of football, as long as I've played the game of football, I still cannot I cannot just stop marveling at some of this stuff. But Dylan Jones, man, that's a guy who shows a ton of progress as a running back one candidate, and you heard Kiffin just sing his praises during spring as well. Paul Tarver, my brother from another, he says, "Isn't it amazing when a dedicated coach and staff shake the trees in Louisiana?" And top talent falls out and get offers to join the Lane Train, just different team. Well, I mean, Ahmad Hudson was just not being recruited well. Just like Kelly would basically say, "Oh, a guy like Elijah Haven, we don't care about him. We're not gonna recruit him." And then Kiffin came in and said, "Okay, we'll kind of continue that and not really recruit him. And Peyton Houston's our guy." You saw the same thing with Ahmad Hudson, where they're recruiting him, but not like Lane did when Lane came in. It just shot up to the stratosphere. We need you. We want you. And here's the thing: people were saying Lane wasn't even going to want Trades Green when he first arrived at LSU. People said that Trades Green was going to go to the portal because Kiffin wants traditional. He prefers traditional tight ends, and here's the thing: he does. But when you have 12 personnel, 13 personnel out there, and you got both tight ends, you can have Trades in the stance in line and then have him split out in the slot. You can do that with ease, and they're going to do that. We've already seen that, and Joe Sloan was a fool for not doing it more. I will say that you had a generational mismatch weapon, and you really did not take full advantage of what was possible there. I mean, you basically had Megatron Mini, man. And oh my God. He's an absolute aerial dominator. I mean, the play isn't even called the fade, it's just throw it up. And Trades Green is going to get it. There's only like one time I saw where Trades Green actually did not get it when it was a thrown up ball. And believe it or not, it was Sage Ryan after he transferred to Ole Miss this last year, breaking up the pass and it bouncing off like 5 different people, I think, right? Right? Is this the play I'm thinking of? I swear Sage Ryan was like beaten hardcore on the play, but then the rebounds by like slapping it out or something, and then one of the Ole Miss guys picks it off or something. I remember that something like that happening. I swear to God, we just saw that on film, but maybe I'm getting it wrong who did what. But guys, I really feel like this is LSU's best chance since 2026. I mean, sorry, in 2026, I feel like this is LSU's best chance since 2019 to really not only have a 1,000-yard rusher, but to really get back to the way LSU used to run the football. The way LSU ran the football with guys like this, Jacob Hester. Absolute freaking GOAT. And an absolute amazing human being as well. Donate to his Hester Foundation as well if you haven't seen that. We did, and just the work they're doing is fantastic. Donate to the Hester Foundation. I think they're doing a giveaway as well. But, guys like Jacob Hester or absolute GOATs, in my opinion, the best ever LSU running back, Kevin Falk. Those are that's kind of the bar for me, the level for me of where LSU should be. You're not going to have a Kevin Falk every single season. I'm not saying that. You're not going to have a Jacob Hester every single season. You do not grow those guys on trees. They are 1 in a million. They're usually once in a lifetime. But you have enough talent there. You have enough physicality there. You have enough athletic specimen. Highly ranked guys with experience, a nice mixture of veterans, youth, new transfers, returning Tigers, and guys who've actually taken snaps like Caden Durham, guys who've actually won games for LSU on an SEC level on the road as a freshman. His debut was at South Carolina, and he was the reason we won that game. I don't know if you remember. So, it's just there's a wealth of talent here. You have to activate it, and you have to develop these guys correctly. I do not want to see hot hands that are ignored, though. Stacey Gage, guys. Stacey Gage had 53 yards on 3 carries in one of the last scrimmages. That's a guy that deserves to get the football a little bit more, don't you think? And so I'm not going to tell Lane Kiffin, Charlie Weiss who to give the football to and who to trust. That's way out of my depth trying to do that. Never would even try and attempt that. But the main problem LSU have had, and it sounds so silly and so stupid, but it's so true. In the 7 seasons, you go 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Sorry, 6 seasons since 2019. In the 6 seasons since 2019's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, brilliant season. LSU rushed for over 30 rushing touchdowns that season, guys. That to get back to that spot, you really, this is the offense, man. It feels like this is the moment where you've got the right coach, you've got the right offense that can just generate those yards with displacing, disarraying, blowing up these defensive linemen and these defenders all over the place, completely gassing these defenders. 80 to 90 plays per game. That's kind of what Lane Kiffin forces defenses to do at the most extreme, and on average, like 70 to 80 plays. So, that's going to be our offense this season, guys. And I'm so excited about it because this is a team that we haven't been able to run the ball for years. And here's something that I really want to read to you because I think this is kind of a mission statement. Under this play calling system featuring an up-tempo offensive attack, bolstered running back room depth. Okay, let me start again. This fuss. Okay, this is from LSUODYSSEY.COM. Just posted a few hours ago, basically last night. Under this play calling system featuring an up-tempo offensive attack, bolstered running back room depth, and an offensive staff who possess a top-tier track record of consistent difference-making and voluminous ground production, these factors make me believe 2026 is the best chance LSU have experienced since 2019 to reclaim their championship-made rushing roots. Championship roots that were planted deep in the black and white or gray days of the mythical Billy Cannon. I wonder how many will get that pun. Sealed during the glory spree of Charles Alexander. Turned into geometric athletic art by Dalton Hilliard. Taken to another level of pedigree and excellence during the Kevin Falk era. Followed by early 2000s title-winning greatness from Justin Vincent, Joseph Adai, and Ollie Broussard. Then Jacob Hester's clutch championship grit and pulse carried the torch forward before LSU running backs became an institution of higher earning and record-setting dominance with the likes of Leonard Fournette, Darius Geis, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. See, even just a peek of evidence, and you understand LSU have a tradition of not only running the football, but spotting the ball, flying up to the line, and ramming 7 tons of human lumber, galloping legs, and mentality victories down opponents' gaping throats. And at all costs, that tradition must be reestablished. That is how the article ended. Definitely check that out on LSUOdyssey.com. Guys, we have some information that we will be able to give out. We put up the wrong thing, spring camp thoughts. We have some information, some breaking news that we'll be able to give out. I was hoping to be able to break it now, but I think it needs to wait a little second here, and I need to get that last final green light. But some big goings on potentially for a few things and a few people around in and around LSU. This is one that we've been warned from. Like, don't you dare come near this story. This is one that, but at this point, no one can stop us with this shit. It's gonna come out. The truth will have to be set free, and we've even had threats over this. There's people who threatened us over this article and this report that we've been generating for the last 6 months. That we've been working on this in the shadows. And so I'm excited to share that with you. I don't think that the time is right with a screaming baby, and don't want to piss off a source. We want to make sure that green light is full, but you will want to hear this. It is not clickbait. It will not be clickbait. When you see what we are going to report, I think some things will kind of blow your mind, because it blew my mind when I found this stuff out. It absolutely blew my mind. So, guys, thank you for putting up with Ari's vocalisms. Our special guest star. Very rare nowadays that you see the babies in the videos. So thank you for putting up with her, and we love her so goddamn much. She's just a little precious special thing. I'm so proud to be her dada. I'm proud to kind of share her with the world in a way of you guys being able to see her. But I think we will be kind of guarded about that for the future, because Chelsea is kind of, and I understand why. She's said, she saw a few memes and a few things and a few photos on some message boards where people were kind of discussing LSU Odyssey, discussing us, some people hating on us, whatever. And she saw that our children were involved in a photo that they were making. And it wasn't anything bad or anything like too much, but just the fact that they were being seen on this forum greatly disturbed her. And so probably the last time that you see Ari or Sage in any of our content, sadly. But the best thing will be is when we are all in Louisiana, you come up and meet us all. That's what it's all about. Anyway, congratulations to Alexandra Mariah. She said she had some big announcement or something that was coming up. So I hope she has some huge success coming. And I'll be a good sport. Congrats to Blake Graffino on his gig covering the national college football scope with Joe DeLeon. I love Joe. And him and Blake have done a good show, and it's been successful, and that's why he has gotten this gig. And congrats to him for getting the gig. I really I don't know when things got weird between me and Blake. I wish it wasn't the way it was. I would say stupid shit, and I would get, I would feel like, oh, he trolled me a few months ago, so now I'm gonna get his ass. And, it just got so stupid and really embarrassing. And so, whatever is there, I wish no ill will for him. I wish him nothing but success, for him and his family to have happiness and stability and financial security. And it looks like Blake has worked hard enough that he's earned that for his family. And so, as a man, as a father, as someone who loves to cover sports for a living, even when I have a baby chewing on my thumb or screaming in my face, I can't help but respect it. I can't help but just say congrats and good luck, and hopefully he does some great stuff at 247, which they've desperately needed a new face at 247. So hopefully he can become that new face there and do a great job. So, everybody, thank you very much. Go Tigers. We'll be having a lot more for you because we just told you about all this stuff that we've got cooking with some news coming, and we don't want to keep that from you. We don't want to play games with our audience. If we ever tell you some news is coming and then suddenly you just never see it, it's not because we hate you. It'll be because we promised something that maybe someone told us at the last second. Don't put that out there, and we just had to go with what they said, because I just there's times to burn a source, and it's not that. The time to burn a source is when they want you to do something horrible and all that type of. It gets really dangerous and really kind of crazy, and they say that you're lying about things that you're not lying. That's when you maybe need to shine a light on things. But everybody, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your night. We absolutely love to do this. This is what we want to do. This is what we want to do with our career and our future and our life. And hopefully, we can, hopefully we can do this for a job so we can, do what we love. I mean, isn't that what everyone's dream is, to be able to do what they love to do for a living? And, maybe we're not as good as we should be to make that happen right now, but I'm damn well going to make sure that as soon as possible we are. So, buckle up, get ready for LSU Odyssey's Rise and ass kicking mayhem tour. And strap in, strap up, and spot the ball, baby. We're ready to go. Huh, Ari? Huh? Mwah. Right, everybody. We love you. Have a good Monday night, and we'll be talking to you soon. Put on the notifications for LSU Odyssey, either on YouTube, on the site, wherever you're gonna be watching the thing. And if you are watching us, if you do watch us a lot, someone like King Cole, someone like Paul Tarver, and you want more, and you're wondering how come he didn't cover this or what, chances are I did with an article on LSUODYSSEY.com, and you're just not seeing it. And maybe you don't like to read the articles, and maybe that's something we could look into, is reading the articles like we did during this show more often as special features, because I think I love doing it. And if you guys want to hear us do it, I think there's some stuff and takes that we try and echo from the articles to the videos, so that you guys know where we stand and kind of know what we feel about things. But man, I would love to mix the worlds too, if you guys would be interested in that. Everybody, go Tigers. LSUODYSSEY.com out, baby.